expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Brother Mike, Casa Grande, Prescott, Tucson, Brother Mike back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. God bless you today. Today's Bible study, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A in the news again. Taking another beating, but winning. Winning. Hey, will you call somebody to tell them radio program's on? I'll do a couple announcements if you'll make that call for me. This is Brother Mike. I'm the counselor at the House of Healing. This is my 35th year as a professional counselor in Maricopa County. Over 13 years on the radio here in Maricopa County. HardcoreChristianity.com, the website. All of our services are on there. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All services have healing, teaching, and deliverance. My new service, Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock, our deliverance training class. It's booming. I had no idea with that kind of interest in that class. I started it last month, and it was so popular, I've decided to continue it permanently. Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. You can join our YouTube teaching channel or our Facebook page or sign up for a free seminar also on the website. You can send us another donation. God bless you. We get donations usually between $25 and $75 or something like that. That works out perfect for us because I don't take a salary in the ministry, so all the money that comes in goes right into paying God's bills. No problemo. I'll be at the San Diego Living Water Church June 4th and 5th. I'll see you there. That's our second summer to be at that church. Lots of people got healed and delivered from spirits last year at that church. The radio program, 24/7, 365 on SoundCloud.com/hardcore-Christianity. You can get the radio programs anytime you want to. Chick-fil-A, here we go. Poor Chick-fil-A's in the news again. You remember back in the old days, back in, 2011 or 2012? That's when the devil was going to win. And in America, he wins all the time, doesn't he? Because the church is so weak, there's nobody there to stop him. But he got the homosexual community organized. He got them ready to rumble, and they won. Homosexuality is now heading toward, and is, just another thing here in America. Well, they got in trouble because the CEO of that company said that they were promoting Christian values, and they believed in traditional Christian marriage, or traditional marriage, period, between a man and a woman. Well, they got blasted in the media. They got blasted everywhere. And boycotts were called against Chick-fil-A, and it was the best thing that ever happened to them. And they've done it again. Check this out. Did you see this article that came out in the paper out in New York City? Quote, Christians are hitting back after Mayor Bill de Blasio and members of the New York City Council called for a citywide boycott of Chick-fil-A due to its public embrace of Christian values. According to Fox News, after Chick-fil-A announced it was set to open a location at the Queens Center Mall, openly gay councilman Danny Drome, who represents the jurisdiction where the restaurant will be situated, called for an all-out boycott of the fast food joint. Quote, I'm deeply disturbed that Chick-fil-A continues to give 25% of their charitable contributions to anti-LGBT organizations, including over $1 million to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, stated Drome. I hope that the Queens Center Mall will reconsider giving a company so deeply involved in anti-gay discrimination a lease on their property. Believers in equality should boycott these purveyors of hate, unquote, according to Mr. Drome. Mayor de Blasio then chipped in. He jumped on the bandwagon, urging citizens to refrain from eating at the Southern restaurant. Quote, I'm certainly not going to patronize them, and I wouldn't urge any other New Yorker to patronize them, the mayor told DNAinfo.com. He certainly wouldn't want you to buy a big gulp at 7-Eleven either, would he? No. Quote, in response, Chick-fil-A issued a statement, quote, the Chick-fil-A culture and service tradition in our restaurants is to treat every person with honor, dignity, and respect, regardless of their beliefs, race, creed, sexual orientation, or gender. We are a restaurant company comprised of 80,000 individuals who represent different backgrounds and beliefs, and we are all focused on offering great food, service, and hospitality, unquote. That was the response from the company in a written statement. But thousands of supporters also went to social media to slam the boycott, accusing de Blasio and Drome of, quote, bullying the Christian business. Quote, I seldom feel more respected than I do when I visit a Chick-fil-A. Their employees are among the most friendly, courteous, and respectful people. Treating people with kindness is at the Chick-fil-A's core business model. Just because their CEO happens to support traditional marriage doesn't make him a hate monger. He's entitled to his beliefs. If anyone is spreading a message of hate and intolerance, it's de Blasio and Drome. And they're referencing, of course, the 2011-2012, fiasco. The president of that company's name is a guy named Dan Cathy. And he came out, as you remember, in support of traditional marriage, and it caused a nationwide response. I mean, it was on all the talk shows for several days. They couldn't believe that they were supporting traditional marriage, and that they were not promoting homosexual marriage. Well, from a business standpoint alone, let's forget about religion. Let's forget about emotions for a minute. The homosexual community in America technically, supposedly, is only about 8% of the population. The transgendered percent is less than 1%. And so from a business model standpoint, businesses are looking to sell products. They sell products to make money. Then they're looking to pay as little taxes as they possibly can and record as high a profits as they possibly can. That's what we call capitalism. It's called capitalism. And it works fantastic. It's not a perfect system, obviously, but it works better than any other system. Communism, socialism, the whole thing's a farce. None of the other systems work near as well as capitalism. Granted, capitalism does have, some pretty big flaws in it, but it's better than any other system. The point is you're supposed to make money. So if you're going to sell a product, wouldn't you want to focus on 92% of the population as opposed to 8%? But 100% of the population, you've got potential exposure because everybody has to eat. And, of course, everybody likes chicken. Chicken is everywhere in the United States. It's unbelievable. It's one of our staples in our diet. Everybody eats chicken. They get chicken everywhere. You can go to Costco and get some massively huge chickens. You ever been over there and got those chickens? Man, they shoot them things up with steroids. Those things are big. They're like twice the size of a regular chicken. And I don't know if they're good for you or not, but they sure taste good. I've eaten Costco chickens. Chick-fil-A's got good food. Yeah, that's for sure. And, of course, there's so many chickens in America, and they breed so many of them that the price of chicken is much lower than the price of beef. So you can get a chicken sandwich a lot of times off the value menu. They don't have that at Chick-fil-A, but the point simply is that if you're in the business, you're in the business to make money. And you don't want to offend people. And this Dan Cathy guy, he doesn't want to offend anybody either. So they sent out that statement that said, hey, if you're gay, transsexual, heterosexual, doesn't matter. This is a chicken joint. This isn't a political venture on whether or not gays should be married or not. They're not involved with that. But the president of the company has certain religious beliefs, and he's entitled to them, just like you and I are entitled to our religious beliefs. This is America. We got the Bill of Rights. We got the Constitution. we've got free speech here. Well, I don't know if you remember it back in 2011 or 2012, Mike Huckabee got really angry over all the heat Chick-fil-A was taking over same-sex marriage. And he initiated a Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day. Do you remember that? And it led to record-setting sales at Chick-fil-A. I wonder if Mike Huckabee got a royalty check on that. Probably did. But anyway, Mike Huckabee said, hey, this is ridiculous. We're going to have a Chick-fil-A Day. And sure enough, I can remember it as clear as anything. I remember when it happened because every time I would drive by a Chick-fil-A, there were massive lines standing outside to get into the place to get something to eat. It was unbelievable. And guess what's happening? They had a 30% increase in sales back then. I guess statistically they had almost 400 more customers on that day than they had in a typical day at the restaurants. And guess what's happening now? Bingo. It's happening again. People are flocking to Chick-fil-A to eat chicken sandwiches. So what's really happening here is that the homosexual community, the net result is they are actually chicken promoters. The homosexual community is now causing more chickens to be killed and butchered and sent to market and barbecued and cooked and deep fried, however you want to cook your chicken. But you got to cook it enough, obviously, because you don't want to get salmonella. You know, that may God save Chipotle. You don't want to get salmonella, so you got to cook that sucker up. And the key to getting more chicken sandwiches sold in the United States is the homosexual community. We need them to keep attacking chicken joints so that the chicken sales will go sky high. And of course, the people, PETA and the animal rights people, they hate the homosexuals attacking Chick-fil-A because everybody's eating more chickens. But as you know, the cows love it, and they're mooing until the cows come home. Thank God for homosexuals getting mad at Chick-fil-A, because those guys are rolling to the bank with truckloads of cash, thanks to the gay people. Folks, this insanity's got to start. We need a revival in this country fast. We're going to get one at the House of Healing. Why don't you come be a part of it?
The views expressed on the preceding program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program has been sponsored by Michael W. Smith.